Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Culture Vulture podcast. We got Vegas in the house. Let's get him on the screen here. Oh. Vegas. There is the link. Bam. Let's get some people in here. Culture War Vultures. Mount up. Boom. Here we go. We're on. AC. Good to see you. Wait for Vegas to jump up in here. There's VPS. All right.
What's up?
Now, how much reverberation do you got? Who's got an echo? Let's get that out the way now.
Oh, we already know. It's echoing.
Okay, let me turn this down then. See if we can get around this thing.
See what happens when we try and spend a half hour on the thumbnail? Okay.
Yeah, I've actually never done that before.
Yeah, that was wild.
Let me unplug this stuff. Boom. Can you hear me?
I can. And there is no reverb.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
All
My
right.
speaker's way over there. And my microphone is way over here. And for some reason, this thing's all messed up. Why? Am I in the wrong spot? Boom. How is everybody this evening? Do we got some people in here yet? We got a couple. We got 4 people. Salute.
There you go.
Salute to the people who showed love. Tonight we're going to talk about BudLight, my friends. We're going to talk about BudLight.
Or the
Pride
artist
in New York City.
Artist formerly known as BudLight.
Yeah, the future.
Oh my God.
BudLight's big mistakes. AC, how you doing? Good to see everybody. So I don't know if anybody's noticed lately, but there's been some hubbub about BudLight in the news. If you hadn't been paying attention. Anna, what up? Yeah, BudLight. I swear to God, I haven't heard that. I hadn't heard that.
From Transheiser-Busch? Yeah, bro. It's all bad.
BudLight. Okay. So if you hadn't heard, BudLight has got themselves in a little bit of hot water. They decided to sign a little deal with an influencer, a TikTok influencer named Mulvaney. If anybody doesn't know who this is a trans woman who has been chronicling her change from being a biological man to a trans woman. And she created a series called 365 Days of Womanhood, and this gained her a lot of followers. A lot of followers, became famous to a certain amount of people. A lot of people. A hell of a lot more than any of my podcasts ever got to. So, with that being said, this garnered Dylan a lot. He actually ended up in the White House. He's been endorsed by several different people. I think Nike. Been endorsed by Nike. And, well, BudLight decided to throw their hat in the ring and say, "Well, we're gonna jump on the old social justice train too. We're gonna throw our hat in the ring," and it was the wrong ring. Apparently, they threw it into. Should have went with BLM maybe.
I mean, they could have. I mean, there's some Southern organizations that they could have gone with. It probably would have gone better than this did. By far.
Yeah.
So they didn't roll out any commercials. Just Dylan went and made, I don't know, his, them, her. It's,
Still
I
got
don't
a
know.
weenie. She still got a weenie.
Yeah, so dude went and made a commercial, right? On his YouTube. And then it just got out. Twitter's a beast. It's undefeated. Twitter got a hold of it. And the next thing you know, Bud Light's going downhill, which is fine. I don't drink that stuff anyway. But now their stock has gone down so much that they are literally trying to manipulate it by telling people, don't buy our stock and don't sell our stock right now. Just hold while they try and figure out what the hell they're going to do. And if somebody like Trump, who has at least $1 million in Anheuser stock, if he was to sell that, it would manipulate the market so bad that it could drop, to $40.
Yeah. Well, the stock tends to not be as volatile as everything else in the small scale time frame. And the reason I say that is because it takes a while for, like they talk about the boycott. They're calling this the Budweiser boycott. Or the Bud Light boycott. It takes a little while for these things to actually take effect. And so now we're starting to actually see some of the ramifications. So the real pain hasn't even hit the stock yet. It's whenever the earnings come in, whenever the quarterly earnings come in, and they come in bad, that's going to be a completely different situation. That's whenever real chunks start. Like initially it took maybe 4 or 5%, something like that. What they're really tripping on is the leading indicators. The leading indicators of just the anecdotal stuff, basically. The pictures from shelves. Retailers saying, some retailers have just called and said, we're just not going to have it. We just won't have it in our stores any longer. Several bars have said that. And believe it or not, there's 6 bars. I got this from timcast.com. There's 6 bars in the city of Chicago, gay bars, who have decided that Bud Light did not back Dylan enough that they're boycotting Bud Light too, because they didn't boycott the gay folks enough. Or they didn't back the gay folks enough.
See, right? I've run a couple of bars in my life. Like, been the GM of 2 bars in my life. And Bud Light, I'm ordering 2 to 1 every time when it comes to ordering kegs, right? When I'm doing inventory, I know I need 6, 7 kegs of Bud Light back there. As to the other beers, like a Budweiser, you're going to order 1 keg, Blue Moon, 2 kegs, 805, 1 keg, but it's always 6, 7 Bud Lights. And now they're not selling it. Now it's just going to sit there and go green.
So see, now Bud Light's trying to clean it up, right? They're trying to say, oh, no, this was just a can. We just sent out a can, and Dylan made the video on her own, and it wasn't even a campaign or anything like that. But here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with that, is whenever it very first happened, the woman, Hendershide, I may have got her name wrong. It's like Hendershide, something like that. The woman who came up with the campaign, came up with the idea in the first place, whenever it first happened, she came out and gave a statement. She defended what had happened.
Yeah.
She said, these guys got a frat boy image. We're tired of our fan base and our customer base having a frat boy image. This immature frat boy, bratty image. We don't want that anymore. Right? So she can. So this wasn't something that happened behind the scenes, and then you guys didn't know what was going on, and whenever you figured out it was going on, you shut it down. You came out and defended it. The woman came out and defended it, and then a week later, you let the woman go, right? So clearly, she was still speaking for the company. She's not going to come out and just make that statement on her own. Right? After the whole thing blew up, like after the first 3 or 4 days, whenever it first blew up, she come out and make a statement. She's not going to make that statement unless she's backed up by the company, right? Well, only a fool would just come out and start making statements like the whole thing just exploded.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I know what to do. You know what I mean? No, clearly, you had the backing of your company.
She completely alienated everybody who drinks Bud Light because it is a frat party beer. It is NASCAR beer. It is the working man's beer. And all of those people ain't looking for some transformer to be on the can when they're drinking out of it. And I mean, they missed the mark. They missed the mark so bad that it's going to cost their stockholders so much.
Yeah.
And good. Stay out of politics. That's a lesson for all these companies. Like, you're getting wound up by all these news organizations that make you think that all this wokeness is like something important. It's not important. It's just important to the people who actually run these media conglomerates. But to us, it's more offensive that you would do something like that.
It's I have to think at a multi-billion-dollar company, because they described this to me one time with graphic design. They said if Nike messes up, if they pay for a logo and they underbid a logo and then the logo comes out like trash, it costs millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, because everything gets pressed with the same logo, right?
Yeah.
You know? So they have people that go over, analysts who go over every decision they make, and their whole job is to figure out how you could possibly critique what is happening. You're supposed to have somebody that's always willing to play the devil's advocate and say, that could look like this, that could look like that, whatever. And I have to believe that they're running these decisions by somebody.
There is zero chance that the top dogs in Anheuser did not approve this. Nobody snuck something this big by them. You know, they thought they were jumping on the woke wagon, and in return, they got shot in the foot, bro.
They did. They thought it was their turn.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, here we are. Boom.
Exactly. And they see companies like Nike doing, the BLM commercials, and, they see all these other companies. Bro, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, you are primarily a white man, 22 to 65-year-old. That's who's drinking your beers for the most part.
Pretty much.
And you just alienated every single one of them in the name of trying to look like you're with the trend.
And that's weird too. Because you'd only know that if you were in the culture, right? If you're in the culture, you know that generally black people, if they're drinking beer, it's generally not Bud Light. That's a generalization, of course. But it's mostly a white dude, maybe even Mexican. Mexicans kind of like Budweiser. Mexicans tend to like Budweiser. If they're going to drink Bud. You know what I mean? They tend to like Budweiser. But it's mostly, like a Chicano or a white beer, right? It's a cheap, low-end beer. Because if you can afford better, you pay better. If you can afford a Corona, you just go buy a Corona, right? But if not, you buy them Bud Light. And you would think that they would understand that you would know, you would be able to collect some sort of data and know who your customer is. And, okay, so now think about it like this. Jeremy from the Quartering was talking about it like this. Jeremy from the Quartering on YouTube. They had the cast of the Book of Mormon. You know the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
They had the cast of the Book of Mormon come out and dance around with Bud Light and drink the Bud Light and thought this was going to be a good idea. They said, oh, well, we're supporting them. You just made them look way gayer than they already were. That's what they were trying to avoid.
Hey, that's... And it's never going to end either. It's never going to end. If I was in a bar serving a beer right now and somebody asked for a Bud Light, I'd say, how many you want, queer? It'd be all bad, bro. Just to mess with them.
Have you seen that? Remember the Kermit the Frog on Family Guy? It's back where you came from.
Yeah. It's all bad, bro. It's all bad.
So, okay, so they come out. This woman, Hendershide or whatever her name is, she comes out. She says, She says, no, 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 no. This we know what we're doing, and we're tired of the frat boy nonsense, and we got this covered. And so then about 4 or 5 days later, they fire her. And then like 2 days later, they fire her boss, right? So now I can't figure out if what they're doing is, and you remember then they came out with the commercial. They came out with the commercial with the Clydesdales, with the big horses. They tried that. And then the next stop was the country fried, little bit of chicken fried, cold beer on Friday
Like a
night.
Chevy commercial for a beer commercial now.
Yeah, so they used the song. They went and bought the rights to the song Chicken Fried, and made an America type commercial. That didn't work. No one cared about that. That was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. They did that. So they hit 2 commercials back to back. Clydesdale, America, and then
I'm going to send you one.
They fired 2 people. They hit 2 commercials. Now where are we at? They've decided. They put out a statement. They finally put out a statement. Statement don't say much of nothing. It's just mealy-mouthed. We want to put America first, and we don't think we should be involved, and da-da-da-da-da. It's just a bunch of nonsense. They're completely avoiding anything that has to do with taking responsibility for what they've done, which is offending the people who buy your damn product.
Right.
You got one job, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised to see whoever drives the BudLight car to try and drop Bud Light off their NASCAR. Say, no, I don't want you as a sponsor right now.
The Bud Light car. I don't know who the Bud Light car
Who
is.
is the Bud Light car?
Yeah,
Let's talk about
I didn't
that.
think of that.
That's got to be a good driver
Anybody know
right
who
there.
the Bud Light car is? Whew.
He's going to need to go ahead and take Modelo's money,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. That fool's going to he's going to be like this right now.
Can you imagine what the Bud Light fans are saying? Or the NASCAR fans that hate that dude?
You might as well just paint it rainbow. Just go with it, dog.
Yeah.
The Bud Light car. I don't know. NASCAR. Anyway. Bud Light. I still got the Bud Light thing up there. The whole time.
I mean, it's coming to the point finally, though, and I'm glad that America's standing up and saying, hey, man, enough of this shit. You know, like, I don't care who you think you want to be or who you know, if you're a dude and you want to be a woman, be a woman. But I'm not going to call you any kind of weird pronouns, or I'm not going to cater to you going to the bathroom with my daughter. Like, I'll call you miss if that's what you're asking, but don't expect me to treat you like a woman. If you are, hey, if a trans comes up talking shit to me, I'm going to probably knock it out like a man. Because that's a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's getting too crazy. And you want acceptance? Okay, you're accepted. But Jesus, stop asking for special treatment.
I think we could solve all the problems and just make all the bathrooms unisex.
That would cause so many new problems, bro. Do you know how much?
They have unisex bottom. They have unisex bathrooms all over the place. There's plenty of buildings that have unisex bathrooms. It's pretty much standard practice.
In California?
No, they're all over the place. There's buildings with unisex bathrooms. Call them family bathrooms.
Well, listen, a family bathroom's different because there's only one toilet in there. So that's fine.
No, there's ones that they divide up. You can divide them up. There's unisex bathrooms, bro. I promise you there is. Maybe not in Nevada. Colorado there is. We got money out here, bro. They got money to do stuff. State makes them do stuff. What do you want?
No, you guys are on that little left side when it comes to certain things. That's what that is right there. Your blue is showing.
Okay. How dare you? So, do you like the background?
I do. I love it.
Yeah. So, Bud Light is now they're saying somewhere that the sales are going to drop somewhere around 20%. They're projected to drop somewhere around 20% already. That's the preliminary judgment. How much of a drop in the stock that comes down to, I don't know. It will be something else.
When all this started, it was at about 80, right? At about $80.
Yeah.
Right now it's down. It's fluctuating between 50 and 60 right now, right?
Yeah.
So
you want to hear what Bigfoot's got to say about this? Bigfoot, what up?
What up?
What's going on, brother? Tell us about BudLight. How's it look out there on the road?
Looks like you got fucking chicks with facial hair that want to have dogs, man.
At the truck stops?
Yeah.
Chicks with facial hair at the truck stops?
Yeah, you got dudes getting out in dresses and high heels and shit, bro.
Jersey Turnpike.
Jersey
Is that a move or is that where you're at?
Oh, shit. I like this. This is good shit. I like this guy. I like this shit, guys.
Now, we can't hear you for nothing, dog.
Nothing.
What's going on?
Nothing. You got the window
like you're
down.
Screaming in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's way better.
Yeah, what's going on out there?
Act like you've been here.
I had the AC on, dude.
Oh my God.
I thought you had that brand new microphone. I thought we figured this all out.
He was supposed to send me that microphone, actually.
Yeah, I gotta still send it to you. You're right. I'm gonna have to send you a picture of a dude I saw that got out of a sleeper truck. He was wearing a dress and high heels, dude.
That's fine. That's fine. Let him live his best life, but don't put him on a Bud Light commercial.
And he did like Stone Cold did when he got out of the truck. He slammed 2 Bud Lights together and shotgunned them, dude.
Did he really? Get out of here. Hey,
oh man!
you guys remember the Bud Light night commercials? Like it was the jousting night.
Yeah.
And he would come and he would save the village.
Yeah.
They made one about this, bro. I'm gonna send it to you after this.
Okay,
they're like, oh,
so
the Bud Light night.
did you see the statement from the man? There's an advertising dude who worked for Budweiser, and he's the person behind the frogs, the Budweiser. Remember them?
Yeah.
He's behind them, and he's behind the. There was another campaign too, one of the really successful ones, and he came out and said, "It took me 20 years to build a $1 billion brand that you guys destroyed in a week." He was just like, "Oh my God."
That's crazy, bro. That is crazy to think about too, because there have been some amazing Bud Light and Budweiser commercials out there. Like in the Super Bowl, they've always killed it. And the frogs, and it's like now look, you got a bubble bath, something T-Rex in a bubble bath. This sounds like fucking Fran from whatever that show was back in the day, dude. You got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Hey, homie, drag queens pretty much are going to be mandatory pretty soon, dog. No matter where you at, dog.
Yep.
We're going to get a form of drag queen in there. It may not be the most flamboyant, the ones who dance and look like Lizzo, but we're going to get one in there.
Bunch of chicks with sticks, bro.
I blame California.
Shit's wild, dude.
It's California's fault?
Yeah, it's the Bay Area's fault, bro. They started this.
I don't remember a lot of this whenever I was growing up, man. There was a lot of gay people. I'll say that. There was a lot of gay people. And it was very accepted. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a lot of weird. There was a lot of weird stuff. That's just because it was San Francisco, though. I didn't have much to do with being gay. It's just San Francisco's a weird city. The Northwest is weird. The Pacific Northwest, there's a lot of people on a lot of drugs.
Yeah, when we get AJ up here talking about the Pacific Northwest, he's up there in the real like heart of all of that craziness.
That fool said all his friends are Antifa.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's the video that I'm putting
What
out.
the fuck?
Remember I told you I just finished a video? That's the one where he's talking about that.
Is that where is he? Washington? He said Washington.
Yeah,
In Seattle.
he's in like Seattle,
Yeah.
like where they took a whole block and said this is our new land,
All right.
and the government
So-
starved them out.
So now, what about this dude? What about this dude in New York, man? Jordan Neely. What happened here, man? What happened?
I mean, that's a rough one because you don't want people getting charged for snatching fools for acting fools, right? Like you always want that man that's going to be out there on the subway that's going to see some dude about to get real reckless and go ahead and put him down for a minute, you know? But 15 minutes, bro, that's like in my mind, it's like, did George Floyd deserve to die? No. But did he deserve to be manhandled? Yeah, he was acting a fool. Do what you're supposed to. This dude, it's the same thing. Like, you just sat there for too long. You knew you should have let up. And he should probably be charged just like that cop did on George Floyd.
You never saw what Nick Diaz did he? That wasn't 15 minutes. It was less than that.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
When Nate Diaz choked that dude out,
Yeah.
it wasn't. That was like fucking. That was like what, 30 seconds? That dude was out.
30 seconds max, bro, and just let him go, and he was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gangish and I talked about it. Like, I've choked somebody out from behind. Gangish has choked somebody out from behind. Like you feel them give,
Yeah.
and it's over.
Yeah.
Miss Thang, she says, "Do they have Transformer strip clubs?" I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I know that they do. It's in one of my videos. If you go watch my video with OG Who Ride from Trey Gangsta Crip, you'll see him talk about. He says, "I know some of my homies been sliding up over there to that goddamn club Tracks. I know they've been going over there."
They call it tracks.
Yeah, it's called Tracks. He said, "And I know y'all been goosing dudes, but you ain't gonna goose me. I got some shorts about it, and I've got, if you go watch the whatchamacallit with him." And he was talking about that. That's why a lot of the homies were saying that. Even Conrad was talking about that. He's like, all these fools were talking crazy to us whenever some of my homies were getting down in prison. He said, now everybody's it's wild. Everything is, you know? So, okay. So this guy's on the train. And he starts screaming, right? He starts, if we're all on the train, we're sitting here on a train, homeboy comes in and he starts screaming and he says, "I want food. I want some fucking food." Starts screaming and hollering at people. "I don't care if I go back to prison. If I gotta hurt somebody. I want some food. I want something to drink. I'm hungry."
That's basically on some nonviolent strong arm robbery type stuff right there. He's basically punking whoever the punk is in there. You know what I'm saying? Like what you got on my food? What you got? I would have done the same thing the Marine did, right?
Yeah.
I just would have let the dude go after I knew he was out.
Yeah.
Then if he woke up, got up, we'd have played that game a bunch of times.
So he keeps going. Let me ask you this: At what point do you engage? If you show up, if somebody shows up on a train and they start acting up, at what point do you physically engage with somebody?
The instant he brings up the use of violence in any way. As soon as he starts talking about, I don't care, I'll go back to prison. All right, bro. Like now we're on that level. Now you've brought it to where you're saying you're about to do something, and I'm gonna put it on him.
They said this dude, he says, homeboy had a long rap sheet. They said he had 41 prior arrests. And it seems he was also a Michael Jackson impersonator. And he was also very young.
Every killer has a picture that makes him look good on his mom's mantle, you know, and they keep showing pictures of this dude in his Michael Jackson uniform and stuff. Like, he was obviously on that subway and ran into another one, a real beast. And the real beast just didn't use his head, bro, and just choked him, sent him to the upper room.
Yeah, well, it looks like they've just announced charges a couple hours ago. They announced charges on this dude.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, I I felt for the dude, but it's like, that's too long, dog. It's too long to just keep going. You know what I mean? He just kept going. And it's like, you have to realize that after a couple minutes, if you've got somebody in a situation, I forget exactly what it's called like a stressed situation or something like that. There's a physical word for it. And there's certain positions that the body doesn't do well in, right? And if you're put in those positions for extended periods of time, you know what I mean? And that's going to be one of those type of things, you know, or like with somebody on top of you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you have to know, you know, if you've got somebody locked up like that over an extended period of time, you've got to give some give there. You got to make sure that there's room. If you're going to put it this way, if you're going to take the responsibility upon yourself to snatch somebody up and wrap them up, you need to make sure they got some room to breathe. I would think that you've now taken a little bit. Now I could see at first putting them in a little squeeze, a little lock. But then after that, you kind of got to make sure that they can breathe, man.
That's more than likely. That's how I would have handled it. Is start the choke, and then you release it a little bit. You say, "Check it out, bro. Don't be moving. Just sit here. We're just gonna sit here. We're gonna hold on together." You know, and if he starts to wiggle in it all, I'd choke him out a little bit, you know. But I definitely would not. I mean, that dude, you had to have known. You had to have known. Listen, your arms get tired.
Yeah, and what happens if the cops never show up?
How long would he have sat there choking? Yeah.
What if it's 20 minutes? 25 minutes?
Right. The human brain starts to shut down after what, 5 minutes?
No, but what if he's not choking him out, though? What if he's just got him in a lock? What if you just got him in a lock and you're waiting for the cops, and now you're 15 minutes in and you're sitting here like...
Then I choke him unconscious before I stand up.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and then his homies start showing up.
Yeah, no.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Because what are the chances, right? If it's one of these subway people, you know how it is. If you run around in the subway, you got subway homies.
Yeah.
Real talk, because it's rough down there. You can't just be down there by yourself. You got subway homies, dog. You're really increasing your chance that somebody's going to come upon you, and you're in a real vulnerable position. Right?
Very vulnerable.
20 minutes, 25 minutes, you rolling around on the ground with this guy?
He still could have put him out and gotten up. He could have gotten out of that whole situation by choking dude unconscious, leaving him on the ground. You give him the good dump, you know what I'm saying? You let him fall, bang his head, all that shit. And he's not moving. He's not moving for the first, I'd say at least 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's plenty of time for you to go ahead and walk away, and for everybody else who's standing there watching, for them to walk away. And if they don't, then they're dumb shits, and they deserve for that dude to get up and bite them on the ear or whatever, you know?
Go ballistic.
Yeah. Like standing next to a darted tiger, bro. You're like,
yeah,
go ahead and get the hell away from it, bro.
Let's see. Let's talk about how portable bathrooms drop their load on the highway and civilians have to drive through their profits. I love that picture.
Did you get the picture of it? Yeah, bro. Isn't that gnarly? Like, it's not a little bit. It's like covered. There's car tracks through it, bro.
Like
Like
four
it
inches
was
of
snow.
poop. Like a 4-inch poop puddle. That's wild.
Gnarly, bro.
Okay, so this guy. So what? This is the next. This is the next Derek Chauvin. Basically, this guy's the next Derek Chauvin. They're gonna give him something serious. They're gonna give him. Yeah, and it's New York.
They're gonna max him. Check this out. If I guarantee you, at least 3 or 4 people in all of New York City were arrested and charged with manslaughter today, besides him. I want to know what happened with them. Were they given, because New York just gives you a court date and lets you out. And we're talking on violent charges. Did they release the others? Are they trying to keep him? What's the bail set at compared to theirs? Like, these are all things that I'm going to start looking into also, because I'm just curious. I'm curious if, if they're just going to let this agenda go because a white man killed a black man in the subway. But they're not treating it the same as they would the black kid who killed the black kid in New York today also. You're muted. Nope.
Yeah, that's the cold part about it is, as much as Democrats like to claim that they care about black people, they're just crimes that happen to little black kids from other black kids they're not even on their radar. They don't function if you try to bring them up, they just call you racist.
Right.
And you should always pay attention whenever you're not allowed to talk about something. It usually means that there's something there. Whenever you try to point something out and they call you a name or label you something, it's usually because there's something there.
Well, here's the other messed up thing is he was in the military. So the prosecutor is going to use the fact that he was in the military against him when it comes to negotiating and sentencing, right?
Yeah.
Now, had it been the other way around and the black dude would have been military and he wasn't, then the prosecutor would have been using that the victim was in the military and a hero and deserved better than this. And it's like, it's a weird dynamic when it comes to that, because they're going to use the same thing to either bring you up or bring you down, depending on what side of the coin you're on when it comes to their prosecution.
Yeah. That's
dirtbags.
Whatever they can use, whatever they can use against you, they're going to use it against you. And I have a feeling that that's actually, I don't know. They're going to try to, the defense will try to use it as in, like, they're going to try to use the fact that the dude was in the military, and so is the prosecution. But I think that it's going to argue more for, it's going to be give more evidence to the fact that Homeboy should have known better, I think.
I don't think if he chokes that dude for 3 minutes and he ends up dead, I don't think he faces charges. Yeah. Is there a true count on how long he held him?
They're saying 15. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, but they say a lot. Like, I would like to see raw footage and know. Yeah. But it's a lot like I said with George Floyd, and don't ever think that I think George Floyd is a hero or any of that. That dude is a complete scumbag. But what they did to him was murder. After you're long enough, you can feel somebody's body lose life. They begin to defecate on themselves. They urinate on themselves. The body goes limp. There is this sound that comes out of their lungs, like there are, and I'm sure it's different in different deaths, but you can feel somebody limp, when they're done. and you continue to have your knee on their neck or choke them out. It's a crime.
Would they give him 20 years?
The cop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got 20 years, but he's up for appeal. That dude's a scumbag, by the way. Chauvin, I've come across cops like that, dude.
What about that fool's wife divorced him in 3.5 days after he got the charges?
Yeah, that just shows what kind of guy he is. Now should all of the other cops around him been charged? I mean, they probably should have said, hey, man, look, I'll hold on to him over here. You know what I'm saying? But, like, everybody stood around with the cameras, too. When it came
that
to...
was following their protocol. That's the cold part about it. He followed police protocol.
Yeah, sit on their neck forever. Huh. Like the military guy. There's no way he walks away from this not charged. Especially with the climate of America right now. And you got idiots like AOC, they're calling for him to be charged with murder.
Yeah.
And that dumb bartending bitch. Listen, I've worked in bars almost my whole life that I've not been in prison, right? I don't want to say it. I don't want to offend my bartending girl friends. But y'all are some dumb.
Let's see. Let's not forget the Democrat Party fought forced slavery. Shouldn't be surprised they don't allow black people to kill each other.
That's a fact.
That's what AJ was talking about. He was saying that, they want it that way. They want the population, the black population. I don't know if I believe that, though, because the Democrats would want more black voters, though. They like black voters. So
Abe Lincoln was a Republican.
He founded the Republican Party, yeah?
Yeah.
He was the first Republican. There is footage from the Mexicans who also detained dude, Canara Man, because he's a reporter. I have no idea what that's talking about.
Are we talking about the McNeely thing? We have to be.
Jordan Neely?
Yeah, Jordan Neely.
The Mexican who also detained dude?
Jan P, yes. That's another thing. Like, George Floyd was all hopped up on some stuff. Like, had George Floyd just done what he was told, George Floyd would be alive today. And that's coming from I've been tased twice by the police, people. Deserved it both times. You know, but you play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Sometimes it might end with you losing your life. You start playing with the wrong cops.
Yeah, I don't play with the cops. I don't fight the cops. I run until they catch me, and then I get.
And that's it. Cool. Hey, bro, that was fun.
All right, you got me.
Yeah.
I was just playing.
I've had cops. Like I said, bro, I've been on quite a few chases, and I've only gotten away once. And I've had cops that are, hey, man, that was a good one right there. You know what I'm saying? Like they liked it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, on the train.
Oh, on the train, yeah.
I have a video of Biden saying we have one N-word in power. We don't need another on the Senate floor. Oh. And there's a dozen plus like that. Yeah, Biden is on tape saying the N-word back in the day. That's a real thing.
In the 80s, that dude legitimately in a news article said some of the scummiest shit I've ever heard. He was like, I don't want my kids going to school in the jungle or some shit like something just incendiary, bro. And he still got the black vote. It makes 0 sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And now watch. Here's what's going to happen. They are going to promise reparations to black people if Biden is elected again. I guarantee it. And guess what? You're not ever getting your fucking reparations. Get over it. Go get a job. Stop killing each other. Like, that's just, be a citizen. Like AJ, like plenty of other. You're out here just, acting a fool thinking that we owe you 40 acres and a fucking mule because of somebody you've never met. It doesn't make sense.
Well, California is talking about, or San Francisco is talking about giving every black person $1.2 million.
All that's going to do is cause the Mexicans to run out of drugs for a week. It's a cold world, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to run out of fucking challengers at the Dodge dealership.
The cartel will be a little backed up. Is all you're saying?
Bro. I'm not even trying to be racist. But yeah, all the SRT Hellcats are going to be bought out in all of California, bro. That's all. But what does that 1.2 million do? Besides alienate the rest of America? Like, I want 1.2 million. I want to get ahead in life.
I hope he does. That opens the door for the Irish, Australians, who were over a decade before slaves from Africa. I don't think the Irish are going to be getting anything.
Yeah, what do you got to do? Like, oh.
BudLight will want reparations?
They're going to need reparations. I'm telling you, it's getting out of control, bro. If they had personally been done wrong, give them reparations. But you can't be serving life on the habitual criminal in California and a black man, and all of a sudden just have $1.2 million thrown into a bank account for you. Like, you haven't given anything to society.
California would just find ways to take that money back.
100%. But if you're going to give it to the people that earn it, the hardworking black community.
MAGA is the highest position in the Satanic Church. Nice. I'm suing DOC for back employment wages. Good luck. Why not give it to the slaves that are still traded, sold today in something like 7 other countries?
I think there should be lawsuits about how much they pay or don't pay in the Department of Corrections.
They should.
That's slavery, bro.
They finally made it so that they can't charge those ridiculous prices on the phones no more. To where phone calls are like reasonable. It's like $1.50 for a phone call or something now.
Were you the one telling me about the Stand Your Ground? The guy got off from Stand Your Ground?
It's on my community page if people go look at it on the Gangish community page. Yeah.
That's gangster, bro. That's using the law.
Yeah. Successfully argued stand your ground inside of his cell.
Inside of his cell.
Yeah.
In a prison fight. And won.
Anna, what up? Anna the goat.
And BLM has officially started marching on the subway too, right?
Good. Maybe they can stop some of the damn violence.
Maybe they can stop buying houses in every city in America for themselves.
Well, that was just 2 women or something. That was just, all the spoils go to the top, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, there weren't none of the riffraff and loud in none of those houses. You know what I mean? Those were for their families and shit like that. Yeah. What a huge scandal. They just spent like 2 years bilking the country out of millions and millions of dollars while they incited a bunch of people to go burn a bunch of shit down.
And all to get rich.
Yeah. Just to steal a bunch of money from the government and extort a bunch of it from like companies. Make a bunch of companies give them a bunch of money.
You remember when... It's when George Floyd died. All the companies, one by one, came out. We stand with the black community. We stand with the black community. We stand. And it's like bro, why do you even feel the need? You know, like, what's the point in that? Why does Apple need to come out and say we stand with the black community?
Well, it's an extension of the idea that words hurt. Because there was a teacher a long time ago that said, don't call people names because words hurt. And we thought about it for a second, and people said, yeah, words do hurt. I don't like being called names. That's true. Words have power. But they took that, words have power, to an absolute absurdity. So now, if you don't say that you support the black community, we've got a problem. Because words have power. We already agreed upon this, right?
Yeah.
We already agreed. This is the same thing that happened with equality. Is somewhere in like the late 80s, early 90s, right? Or even the 70s, everybody kind of agreed that we were all the same. We're all equal, right? Okay, we got to stop being assholes here. Racism's not cool. Slavery. We're all equal. It's imperfect, but we're all equal, right? And they take that little itty bitty piece of truth and then they stretch it to an absurdity. And now we have equal rights for people who want to dress up as women and as furries. It's the exact same thing. It's just the exact same stuff drawn out to an absurdity over 40 and 50 years. And the reason why it keeps getting drawn out is because they're progressives. It's progress. It's always forward. It's not stagnant. It's always moving forward. But by definition, that means that whenever you get what you want, you will move past it. Right? And they've pretty much moved past it from what I can tell. Because I don't see that anybody wants this. I can't imagine that Democrat mothers and fathers and grandmothers are happy about any of this. I don't care what they say on TikTok. They can go on there and say how great it is. And they cry. Father cries in the shower. Hopefully. You know what I mean?
That's why Biden's approval rating is so low. Even among his own party. Yet they're still going to run him. They're still going to run him on the next ticket.
They can't. The rules are the rules.
Sitting
and
president.
The rules say that you don't have a primary. You don't even have one. If you have somebody in office, you don't even have one. And the Republicans do it too. So it's not just a Democrat thing. The Republicans do it too. It's just a why. It's like a waste of money.
Yeah.
That's how they see it. It's a waste of money. We've already got somebody in there. There's no reason for it. But JFK's running against him.
Yeah.
JFK Jr. That fool sounds like an old grandma, though, like he's about to die.
I mean, he's a Kennedy. He is about to die.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? If somebody came out of left field and sent him to the upper room.
I'm just telling you, bro. They do not have the best of luck when it comes to surviving campaigns.
Yeah, Conrad, that is Mr. Cleveland. Whenever Cleveland got sent to the upper room, it got deemed self-defense. Stay out of trouble. Boom. Oh, Miss Thing. Oh, Miss Thing. It's all about the Benjamins, sir. The same time G. Floyd got a knee, there was a guy in France that got the same thing. There's a man named Tony Timpa that it happened to in Arizona, and it's almost the exact same situation, except for he wasn't a criminal and he wasn't high on dope. He was very large. He was a very, very large man, and he was having some sort of schizophrenic episode. And he was on the streets just running around Arizona, like in, I don't know if it was Phoenix or something like that, but he was in a city somewhere, running around downtown, just having an episode, and the cops didn't know what was going on, and they actually ended up smothering him to death. They tried to take him to the ground. He started resisting, and they smothered him to death, and they actually ended up squishing him to death, basically. He lost his life right there. And he wasn't high or drunk or didn't have a criminal record or anything. They literally just thought he was looking weird, asked him to comply. He didn't, and then that was it. He ended
Which
up
is illegal, by the way. You have to suspect him of doing something.
Yeah.
Before
But
you can
he's a
just.
white guy, so they didn't really. Nobody
Oh, yeah,
really
well-
did nothing about that.
Yeah, just like the white guy in Dallas. The same time as George Floyd. Same way.
Yeah.
Sat on dude's neck forever and he croaked. You didn't hear a word about him. There's no statues.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Let's see. What the hell is a furry? Don't act like you don't know what a furry is, Miss Thing. Don't even try to come in here.
Yeah, I can't breathe. And they were writing stuff on the back of helmets and stuff on their shoes in the NBA. And it's like, hey, man, check this out, LeBron James. Why don't you go ahead and tell me about how bad your fucking life is, black man? Because I will gladly trade you.
LeBron James.
Gladly trade you, bro.
He was on TV saying the CIA killed his uncle. Let's see. Rick, I saw that. How peculiar was the likeness of what? Peculiar was the likeness of the law. Miss, I know what a flurry is. A flurry.
Oh, a furry?
Yeah.
I guess they like to dress up like teddy bears and get after it.
I can't believe came a thing to say. Or I can't breathe. Man, people had shirts. They were running around with shirts and stuff like that. They said I can't breathe. I remember the hands up, don't shoot. Remember that one? Hands up, don't shoot.
Now, will I step out there and say that there isn't a lot of truth to the amount of violence that police in the inner city use as compared to the suburbs? Of course, that's 100% true. The amount of violence that the police see every day is directly proportionate with the amount of violence that they feel like they need to use most of the time, you know, when they're in the inner city. Like, if you're a soldier sitting on the beaches of Hawaii, you're not going to be on guard and you're going to be happy and nice and having a good time. Now, if you're in the trenches in some third world country getting shot at, your reaction to everybody's going to be a little bit different.
F the CIA. Nice.
Oh, we don't say those words.
Yeah, I know.
We don't say those words. We don't even acknowledge those people.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did you see the Trump town hall?
Yeah.
Bro, the more I watch Trump right now, the more I just fucking love that dude. I can't help it.
He clearly went and got with somebody. He's got him a new communications director. I could tell that from the video that he put out, that commercial that he put out a couple weeks ago. He's got a new communications director, clearly. And
He's toned it down a little bit.
My guess is he's actually listening to people this time.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up and listen to some people.
He has toned it down, which is perfect because now he doesn't come off like an arrogant prick. You know, now he just comes off. Now his message is going to be heard a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because, listen, there's no way in the world that anybody, at least 15 people in this chat, not one of you can think that Biden can do better for this country than Donald Trump. If those are the two we have to pick from. Like, I voted for Trump against Hillary because Hillary is an evil, evil woman. Like, she's got more bodies than her husband does.
Now you want a flurry?
Yeah.
That's part, and you know what, Miss Thing? That's part of the freedom that America gives you. So you can dress like a furry if you want to. Right?
Hey, I'm just saying. You show up with a rabbit hat on.
Get the business.
Yeah, you get the business. If you got a little thong on with a little cottontail rabbit tail on the back, you getting work. Ain't no animal thing.
Have you seen those tails with the little butt plug?
You show up with that, you're definitely getting work.
They're cool, dog.
Or the little bunny ears. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Little cattail with a little butt plug in it.
Oh, a flurry? Are you talking about a McFlurry?
I do be messing with McFlurry sometimes. Biden is something else. He's pretty much been hiding. I ain't seen him in a while. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
You know,
But I can't imagine he's getting any sharper. You know? Like, he doesn't show signs. Do you think they're going to pump him full of dope again this time? And
he's what they're doing is they're probably hitting him like they were doing Adolf.
Yeah.
Hitting him with little, but they were giving him way more. But I bet they're hitting him with some amphetamines.
Something good, yeah.
So
a little wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they're bringing him out on stage like right after.
Not a flurry. Biden voters have more buyer remorse than Payless shoe shoppers.
Listen, somebody put together a song. It's called it's Creep, the song Creep by I don't even know the band right now, but they did a remix to Creep, and it's Joe Biden every time he's made a little kid feel uncomfortable sniffing on him. And they got a picture of Biden's nose pushing in. He's on somebody's back like this. Like, what are you even doing there?
Yeah.
And then he didn't recognize his own grandchild?
It's selection, not election. You heard Trump Day say, I've done more in 47 months than Biden in 47 years.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's a beast. Plus the trans furries get to be 2 or more animals. Oh, wow. It gets deep. Asked what a furry was, and I told her I know what a flurry is. He's on go pills. Yeah, I'm guessing they gave him some sort of wake-up call.
Who said light up LA gears?
What?
That's awesome.
I have a cattail butt plug. There you go. See? John P.
All right.
It's a guy.
All right, bro. We're not judging.
Nice. Light
Now,
up LA gears for the shit.
So I just thought about something with the Dylan Mulvaney thing. It's not Dylan Mulvaney's fault.
What you mean?
Like any of this. Like Dylan Mulvaney was just a YouTuber, right? And BudLight said, here's a bunch of money. And Dylan Mulvaney said, I'm the Budweiser ambassador now, Bud Light, and made a commercial basically. I would have done it. But Bud Light would still be selling Bud Light if I'd have done it. America.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
Hold up the can, not sponsored.
Exactly. Bud Light, you want to come throw the money our way? We'll dig you out of this hole one
Make
American at a time.
Again.
Yep, we'll make Bud Light great again. What we're going to do is create a commercial, and we're going to have a stunt double that looks like Dylan Mulvaney, and we're going to power bomb him. Boom, and kick him off the cliff. And we'll look at the camera and we'll say, America, drink Bud Light. Boom. Fuck the Clydesdales, bro. You just need us running a stunt double for a transformer off of a cliff.
Bigfoot. Some footage of Bigfoot rolling a big wheeler.
And that's it. And little Timmy.
Yeah, that's America.
Showing up looking like a piece of like, with the case of beer, bro. Boom.
Some
Done.
Bud Light. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it ends with us on a beach, campfire, cheersing our Bud Lights, smiling.
They claim that there's 10,000 illegal immigrants coming into the country a day. There won't be any jobs left for anybody. We'll all be getting 10 cents an hour jobs like China pretty soon. Well, there's some problems with that. I don't know if there's 10,000 illegal immigrants coming in a day. That's probably true. The idea that there won't be any jobs left for anybody, I don't see any evidence of that.
Yeah, more population creates more jobs, actually. So when people, that's the one thing. Like, I don't want illegal immigrants over here taking jobs up, right? But at the same time, you have to look at it like realistically, and that is the bigger the population gets, the more stores you're going to need, the more road builders you're going to, the more everything you're going to need, and that's more jobs. So it doesn't really work out like that. What it could do possibly is drive down the lower to mid-range jobs, say working in the kitchen, being a server, things like that. That could get ugly, because where you're going to want $17 to work in the kitchen, they're like, give me 12. And they'll work twice as hard. Yeah. So, but
you would too if you were trying to make it from another country. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody that wants to go work in strawberry field. So there are a lot of jobs out there that only the Mexican people take up, you know, and they excel at. So
out here,
I don't want their crime.
Out here, it's only the Mexicans and the prisoners are who pick all the fruit. You know?
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, though, you know, if we look at it, okay, let's put it this way. Let's say 10,000 illegal immigrants come through into the country. You know, 99.9% of them are going to be like hardworking, tax-paying people. I mean, there will be some killers, and there will be some drug dealers, and there will be some gang members and stuff like that. They'll be in there too. That is true. And it's disingenuous to act like they're not. They're in there. But the vast majority of those people are going to be people who want to come get a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't travel across the desert because you're lazy.
Right.
You just be lazy in Mexico. You know what I mean? You don't make a trip across the goddamn, you know what I mean? The continental desert.
That's like we had gotten into. It's not the Mexicans coming over, it's the South Americans. And the South Americans have that MS-13 and all that down there that are basically, I mean, intertwined. Look at the new prison they just built for them down in El Salvador.
Yeah, they're not playing with them fools.
Yeah. Like, your government's obviously doing something. They're building these state-of-the-art huge facilities, and they're taking these guys off the street in droves. When you see them processing, all you see is tattoos, white boxers, and these dudes are running like, you know, head down, like they know they're about to catch a whooping if they even look up. So the government's doing something to them.
Yeah. That's pretty much standard practice around the world. If you're moved around a prison, it's only in America where they let you stand up and like look people in the eye and shit like that. You're not allowed to do that in the rest of the world. Keep your head down.
God bless America.
Yeah. What do we got here? If NASCAR has balls, they wouldn't paint the car BudLight. They would paint the car.
I agree. Or just do away with BudLight, period. As a sponsor.
Waiting for the herd of WNBA orcs to get addictomy operations and ruin the rest of America's already shit me. Yeah, you go and get a lop it off of me, and you get a contract. Waiting for the herd of WNBA orcs to get addictomy operations to ruin the rest of America's already shitty beer. What a good comment.
So, did you see Brittany Griner?
I try not to.
They showed her with her hand over her heart.
Yeah.
saluting the American flag. Now, boy, all she needed was a little Russian prison.
Yeah.
You should go ahead and straighten you right out, bitch.
See.
Or dude, homie. I don't know. Bro, nice tits, bro. I don't know what to say anymore, bro. I don't know what to do with my hands.
They didn't count on Roe versus Wade getting overturned and failed to realize they're supporting abortion to a demographic mostly devout Catholics. So they lost all that support. Let's see. There isn't a single white person in all of the agricultural fields where I am, and they're hard-ass workers. Yep. I saw that new prison over there. Oh, my God. Lumberjack. I am with you on that, Rick. We don't need crime. That's what you get with these people. They need to come into the country legal or don't come.
I agree that I only want people coming in legally, and there needs to be a secure border. We talked about that but we haven't talked about that here. You know, you got terrorism, you got fentanyl, you got all types of stuff. It's not Mexican people that are coming over here in droves, but they're definitely capitalizing on all these South Americans that they're helping to get into here. And it'd be a little harder if they had to all jump a wall. Did you see what Texas is doing?
Which some
On the Rio Grande? They put up barbed wire, and they got the Texas National Guard down there punking people, standing in front of their path like you ain't going nowhere.
punking people.
Yeah, just punking them. Like they're all just standing there looking up at this dude just standing there like, I'll pepper spray the shit out of you.
Yeah. They're over it. I'd be over it too, you know? And I don't know, but you can't stop these people from enforcing laws. They've got local laws, you know?
Yeah, with Title 42. Listen, the Mexicans don't want them in their country either. That's the biggest problem. And they're like, what do we got to do to get them out of our country? Get them across this. It's not even a river. They call it the Rio Grande. There's nothing grand about that Rio, right? It's a small creek.
Is it? Doesn't it go back and forth? Like there's parts of
Like they walk across it. They wade across it.
And why do they call them wetbacks? It's not even getting wet. It's not accurate. See, stereotypes aren't accurate.
I had a friend tell me he was a scratchback one time.
Yeah. Dems won't give a crap about the black Americans when the illegals take their jobs and welfare and homes. Trouble is already brewing. Old fart 67.
Trouble is brewing. Hey, I'll tell you what. How about Black America starts standing up for America?
Well, I think we need to ask ourselves why we're so uneducated that a Mexican immigrant can walk across the desert, come here, learn the language, educate themselves, and then take my job.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, you won't be taking my job. You can take my kid's job, but you ain't taking mine.
Yeah.
You know, or, I mean, there's plenty of skilled Mexicans that come over that build and landscape, and that's all skilled stuff, you know? Like, not just every asshole can go out there and make your lawn look really good, or build your house, or roads, or tunnels, you know? Like these dudes are amazing when it comes to architecture and shit.
They got pepper balls on the Texas border.
Yeah.
Burning River gasoline. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and now that Title 42, when it's done, guess what? Now they're just catch and releasing into America. Title 42 at least kicks them back into Mexico in about what, 3 hours, 2 hours? That's all done.
Innocent. I'm voting Democrat before trying to do the right thing, but I'll never vote for a Democrat in my life again. I voted for Trump.
Listen, and I won't say that there haven't been some great Democrats. Bill Clinton was an amazing Democrat.
Someone gets it.
What's up, Johnny Cab?
What up? The worst of all this to me is our veterans are not only cared for how they deserve, but now they have to watch the demise of the republic they fought and lost for. True.
This is very true.
Sure.
And the money that we're spending housing illegal immigrants instead of building the wall to stop it and a couple of centers to streamline it, we could take the money that we'd be saving on building all these encampments and stuff, and we could put that towards housing our veterans who have fought for our country.
Can you say amnesty? All good, AC? AC Lopez, it is good to see you.
What's up, AC?
I canceled the DirecTV to keep my dad, a Vietnam combat medic veteran, from finding out.
What happened with DirecTV?
No, she canceled the DirecTV so he doesn't got to watch what the fuck's going on with the country.
Oh. If he has a phone, he's watching it.
I heard they don't have enough food, so they're killing people's dogs and cats now and eating them. I have no idea what you're talking about.
In Mexico?
I hope not.
But not the Mexicans, the South Americans in Mexico.
Oh, the migrants.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can see that.
Yeah. You got to feel for the Mexicans too, bro. Like they're going through this shit just the same as us. It's just we're looking at them and blaming them, and it's not their fault. It's not them doing it. They don't want these fools in their country either. Tijuana was a war zone like a year and a half ago because that big caravan went straight to Tijuana, and the Mexicans were like, you cannot stay in our city. So they made them stay outside of the city, and they were like going to go to war. They're beating people up in the streets.
Make Tijuana great again.
Yeah, they had hats that said "Make Tijuana Great Again." They did, bro. That's all you need to know. But everybody keeps making this like it's a Mexican issue. Like Mexicans are not coming over here. Mexicans are just making money on the people who come over here. But just do your thing. I would too. If I lived in Mexico right now, I'd be a coyote getting people across that damn river.
Oh yeah, it's easy job right now. Shit, the VA discontinued the type of prosthetic lower arm hand for our vets because funding got cut. Wasn't cut for welfare, health care for immigrants. Wow.
That's another thing.
That's the VA's choice. Unfortunately, the VA made that choice, huh?
If you're illegal in a country, you should not be able to get a driver's license. You should not be able to get any kind of welfare. You should not be able to get any benefits from the taxpayers of that country. That's a huge thing for me. And they literally, like California, is trying to make it to where, like, so what? You're not a citizen. You don't have a green card. You have zero legit reason, right to be there. And they're just like, oh, well, you're just as good as the dude who was born in the hospital down the street.
Yeah. Let's see. Seen all the trash on the border? He says they're leaving a bunch of trash on the border. Problem with it at all is they're minorities. They get the choice of jobs where we don't. That's what's wrong about the deal.
You mean like affirmative action? I hate affirmative action. I think best man for the job.
Tijuana has been the number one homicide spot for years running. They might want to make somewhere else great again. First, baby steps.
Juarez, Mexico is pretty bad now too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Tijuana isn't the number one spot for homicide. You're thinking of Juarez, aren't you? Yeah, he's saying you're thinking of Juarez unfuckwittable. Tijuana's actually been pretty quiet for years.
It's been tame. Brownsville is really bad down there in that area, and Juarez, El Paso has been really bad.
Yeah. I was in Rifle, Colorado a few years back, and there was not one white man on a construction job in the middle of that town. Yeah, that's true. Out there on the western slope. Yeah.
See, and that's so the construction. I can understand people saying in the construction industry that it could cost them their job very easily because the Mexican workers, they work hard and they'll do it for less and they'll do it for longer hours and they just don't care. I just need a paycheck, right? They'll do that hard labor. That's hard work. And so I could understand that. But in most spots, it doesn't matter. Most aspects.
Trump gave the largest monetary increase to the VA budget and veterans benefits in decades. I think Reagan was the last before Trump. CA and Trump, California and Biden did it. I'm a victim of the VA every day. Illegal border crossers should be sent back. Illegal is illegal.
I agree.
Mexico and Brazil has T. Okay. Juarez, I thought was the worst.
That's from what I've heard.
Mexico and Brazil has like 10 of the top 15. Colorado loves illegal immigrants. Been that way for years. That's true. Most of these illegals will come here. They won't pay a dime in taxes. They will use all of our welfare entitlements and leave with the money. Send it back home.
It's true.
Endless gratitude. Much love. After the 7th booster kicks in, you Fox reporter on the border says there are over 30,000 waiting to cross in 2 hours.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been watching it all day long, bro. And Texas is scrambling. And, of course, now the feds are coming in and having issue with what Texas is doing, setting up barbed wire and putting their National Guard out on that border to secure it. And the feds, Biden, they're going to step in and they're going to try to sue Texas over it. Watch.
I heard something about them sending. They said they were going to send troops down there, right? What, the Texas National Guard?
Yeah.
Texas National Guard they sent down there, declared an emergency, right?
Yep.
And so now the feds are all mad, all salty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they say, oh, it's a violation of human rights. Like, listen, you don't get to break the law.
Yeah.
And then claim human rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it the way that hundreds of thousands of immigrants have done it. Do it the same way. Millions, probably.
Yeah. People get here, man. You know, people figure it out. Let's see. Right, Rick, it's not the Mexicans, it's the illegal ones.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the Mexicans that are here are pissed about it, too, because they're competing for their own jobs now.
They hate them. Legal immigrant, naturalized citizens over here that have gotten their green card hate illegal immigrants because they went through the system. They spent a decade doing it. At least the ones I've talked to.
Why are they allowing this to happen, though? I don't watch the news, gang. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, why? How deep it goes? I mean, a whole new world order type trip. I mean, the liberal agenda, the neoliberal agenda, where they really don't want people to own stuff. They kind of just want everybody to be a worker, everybody at the bottom to be a worker, and then just do your damn job. I mean, basically, they want you to do your job and not drive your car and not put out any CO2. And, I mean, it's all of this. It's all the same agenda. And it's kind of part of it is you have to erase the borders of countries. They don't like nationalism. They're not a fan of people being like proud of their country. They feel like nationalism is the root of racism and xenophobia and things of this nature. They feel like that's where it starts. So if we can erase the border and there's no real difference, if the line between Mexico and America is indistinguishable because all the people there are just the same people, then does the border even matter? Does the state itself matter? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to think about it. You don't see the people, like whenever I was growing up, we knew America was the good guys. And we understood that some bad things happened, but we understood that we were righteous. And that's not what they teach anymore. They teach that we're the world's terrorists. They'll actually tell you that.
We are.
That we're the world's terrorists.
We are.
So,
but they're doing this.
See? He's bought it too.
Yeah, we are.
See, he's bought it too.
So they're doing this for votes. That's 100%. The Democrats are trying to level it to where illegal immigrants are allowed to vote. They're bringing in hordes of illegal immigrants. They're telling them that Trump is bad and we're the ones who made it to where you could get here. Don't forget us when it comes to voting. Like literally they're pouring hundreds of thousands of votes across the border right now.
But they can't vote.
They can in California. I'm going to guarantee you that any blue state is going to start letting illegal immigrants vote.
Well, then the people, the people have to vote for that. I guess the people of California voted for that?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you think
they can vote in national elections? They can vote for the presidency? Yeah?
Yeah. They are trying to give illegal immigrants every right that an American has in California.
Let's see. California's off the chain, Doug.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to have is like a bunch of tech companies and illegal immigrants because everybody else is going to leave.
Tech companies are leaving too, man. They're all going to Texas. But now they're bringing their voting ways to Texas. And if Texas turns blue, God help this country.
Federal law states that it is unlawful for a non-citizen to vote in a federal election.
Now look up California.
Yeah, but this is a federal law. California doesn't get to trump federal laws.
Do you think that there was...
AP News. Federal law bans non-citizens from voting in federal elections, including races for president.
Do you think that there was meddling in this election?
Last fall, the D.C. City Council passed a bill that will allow non-citizens, including illegal immigrants, to vote in local elections, not federal elections.
Okay. Well, a local
difference.
Well, a local election can be all the way up to state senator, right? Governor.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might only be like school board and stuff like that. That might only be city. There's going to be a technical definition of local. I don't know what the technical definition of local is.
You know, in Arizona, they had us voting for Congress, and I could swear that I voted for... I didn't just vote for who was in my district. Like, we were literally... The other names from the other districts were on the ballot for us to yes or no.
For Congress? You said?
Yeah.
For Congress?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I should never be able to vote in another district or for another district's election. I should only be able to vote on my congressman.
Okay. I see what you mean. I see what you're getting
It's just
at.
weird. I don't know. I don't know if they tally it up or different or not or what.
I just checked. Highest homicide rates globally for 22. Mexico has 9 in the top 10.
Well, they have every bit of MS-13 and all the farts and everything coming from South America through their country.
Liberals
And
want illegals.
they have cartel wars.
When you have 9 cities in the top 10 homicide rates, dude, when Kale Town, South Africa has slid down to number 12. I mean, damn, Mexico, you scary. Oh, Cape Town, that's what you're talking about.
That's quite the racist place, too.
D.C. tried to let them vote. It's what they're trying to do and allow their votes to count, even if it's illegal. That's why they want to disarm Americans so they can force this shit through. You're probably right about that. My step boy is a Mexican. He's a hard worker. He's concerned about it. He lives in Dallas where I live. It's not many of them. Let's see. 30,000 votes come in overnight while the counters are closed. No, it seems on the level. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Forced vax mandates. Just checked on vote registration. You have to be a U.S. citizen. No illegals.
For now.
Leftists effed cheated.
For now.
Family came from Ireland 150 years ago.
For
Biden
now.
sacrificed his son Bo to become president. He also sacrificed his wife and child in the 70s to become a congressman. Well, there you go. Rick James, bitch. I just got a message from my roommate, and it says my dog pissed and shit on the bathroom floor down there.
Well, we'll shut this one down. We're at an hour 30.
I think it's about that. I gotta go clean this up. I gotta go handle this.
All right.
So, I think we'll call it a day with piss and shit with number 1 and number 2.
I'll edit clips out of this.
Yeah.
And drop them over the days.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Politics. Please leave suggestions in the comments if anything new crazy happens. We want to hear about it. We'll be doing this at least once a week, and we'll be talking about whatever the crazy culture war shit is that's going on. My guess is we'll still be talking about BudLight again next week. I can't believe that they'll be out of the spotlight. But I also believe that something crazy will happen by next week.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about the border of what happens here. So we might be on sooner than a week from now, depending on what goes on tomorrow.
We'll see what they charge this guy with in New York. Follow up on that. So,
yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'll see everybody next time. Culture War Vultures, baby. Boom.